So what is up, guys? Nick here, helping you to master your technology should you buy the Samsung Galaxy Note 8 in the year of 2019. Now, I did get this phone when it launched way back in September of 2017, and basically it's been an amazing phone altogether. Goodbye, it's the end of the video. No, I'm just messing with you. But I have seen the prices like around 300. There is some LCD burn-in on some of those, but if you know where to look, you could find these under 400. And if you don't believe me, I'll leave some links down below in the description area of this video. Anyway, let's find out if it's worth it right now. Coming up, let's go. Okay, so the first thing I want to talk about with the Galaxy Note 8 is the design, because the design on this phone is actually quite good for, 2019. It actually looks almost identical to the Samsung Galaxy Note 9. So basically, what do you really got to complain about with this phone? Not much of anything. It's got a more square feel to it. It's pretty thin. It's not too heavy, but it's not a super light phone either. It does feel a little bit like a brick. You will feel it in your pocket. It's not the lightest one out there, but it's very tall and narrow. So I do like that if you like to do a lot of portrait reading or scrolling and stuff like that. The Note 9 is a little wider, so if you buy this phone in 2019, just realize you're getting a pretty long, narrow, big and heavy device in the Galaxy Note 8. However, it's not quite as heavy as the Note 9, so you can rest assured that you don't have the heaviest phone out there. When it comes to the build quality of this device, you can see I do have a case on it, and I do prefer and recommend that you guys do keep it in a case. It's probably better suited by doing that. But I can say that it does scratch a little bit, actually quite easily on the screen, so I do recommend having a screen protector, and the rear can scuff up as well. I do think the black hides it a little bit better than the other colors, so do keep in mind the color you get with might affect this. The gold probably even better, but that blue one will definitely show some scratches on there. However, build quality doesn't feel cheap, nothing like that, but still, this is a phone that you definitely want to protect if you're going to keep it for quite some time. So let's talk about one of my favorite things with the Samsung Galaxy Note 8, and that is, should you buy it in terms of display? And the answer to that question is absolutely. Because this phone has an incredible Super AMOLED 3-inch display here, so very large display, and it has plenty of color saturation as well as very sharp details at that 1440p res. So the screen on here is blowing away a lot of phones that are even launched this year, like the XR, for example. So you can rest assured, whether you're reading, whether you're watching a movie, whether you're doing anything on this display, time and time again, you're going to look at it and you're going to be pleased, even here in 2019. It's actually an incredible panel on the Note 8, and I use it right now, and I'm just like, well, am I using a Note 9 or am I using a Note 8? Because they're not that much different at all. Now, I should say that software on this phone is actually not updated that often. However, it did get the major update to Android 8.0 since I did get it, and it's also going to get One UI. It's going to be later than phones like the S9 Plus, the S9, as well as the Note 9, but it is going to get that update. So do keep in mind that you're not going to be left behind, at least on one more update for the Note 8. Now, the thing about the Note 8 is that this phone actually runs pretty well, whether you don't get updates, major updates or not. It is getting security updates, and I haven't had much lag or anything to speak of. It just works, and it works well. So with a Snapdragon 835 and 6 GB of RAM, performance is actually on point for the Note 8. There's really not much to say other than, like I said, it's not the smoothest phone I've ever seen, but it's not slow. It actually runs pretty well, and really, lag is nothing I really had to speak of. This phone has never restarted on me once. I've had a couple app crashes, but that can be related to that application itself. On the whole, I think you'll be very happy with the performance of the Note 8 even here in 2019. It's not going to be that ultra slick smooth feel though, so do keep that in mind if you buy this phone once again. However, it's pretty good at multitasking and holding applications and RAM management because it has so much RAM at 6 gigabytes, which is more than enough for an Android phone. Talking about the S Pen just shortly, there's not really much to go on with. It's basically Samsung's trademark feature here for the Note series, and the S Pen on the Note 8 was fantastic, as is the one for the Note 9. I do quickly want to discuss storage, because the storage with the Note 8 is pretty acceptable. 64 gigabytes expandable memory, so you could put an SD card in there. And I found that I never needed more than 64 to say store applications on a device, and having that expandable memory makes me feel very confident in having enough space to swap out SD cards for videos and photo memory. So really do love having expandable storage. Storage is just fine for the Note 8. The Note 9 went overkill with the 512 gigs. I don't think most people even need that amount of storage, but if you want massive storage, then you're not going to get the 512 gig here. You're going to have to live with 64 or 128. Okay guys, so talking about the camera with the Samsung Galaxy Note 8, it does have dual 12 megapixel cameras. They can shoot up to 4K 30, but I was a little bit disappointed it couldn't do 4K 60. But overall, the shots turn out very saturated, if a little bit soft. You do have things like selective focus, which will allow you to blur the background a little bit. You got live focus on here. It was one of the new features that was demoed on stage with the Note 8. So it was one of the first phones that can manually tweak the background. Apple made a big deal about this at their iPhone XS Max launch when the Note 8 had this a whole year before. So overall, I would say that the software is pretty good in terms of the camera, but the software was improved on the newer S9 Plus with expandable memory, plenty of features, pro features, as well as a pretty simple camera interface. I'd say that most people will be happy with the camera on the Note 8. The quality is also very good. Now on the front, I didn't really like the front camera too much because it was just way too soft, I would say, in terms of video and photo. However, for everyday photos, it's going to be fine, but if you're going to do anything like putting videos up on social media like YouTube, I don't think it's the best front-facing camera out there for that application. On the whole, I really do like the rear cameras on the Galaxy Note 8, mostly because they're optically stabilized, dual pixel AF, and they shoot photos that you kind of want without doing any tweaking afterwards. They just look pretty decent right out of the shot. One area many people might be interested in discussing is the battery life with the Note 8, because this is something that was drastically improved for the Samsung Galaxy Note 9, and the battery life, I will say, is it's going to get you through a day. Now you're definitely going to probably want a charging pack with you if you're a super heavy user with the Note 8, but most users will get through the day with about, I would say, 3.5 to 4.5 hours on screen time. That's nowhere near the 6 I'm getting on the Note 9, but still, it's not bad. The battery life is acceptable. However, I will say from the first 100 down to about 89, it does drop very fast. So don't be discouraged by that. It starts getting better as you get into like the 80s. One saving grace about the battery life with the Note 8 is that it does have fast charging and wireless charging, so you should be good there. The Note 8 is an okay battery life. It was much improved on the Note 9, but Samsung didn't want their phone to explode like the previous edition, so they made the capacity a lot smaller with the Note 8, I think, for safety purposes, until they figured it out, and then they were able to put a larger battery in the Note 9. Topic of audio, should you buy the Galaxy Note 8 when it comes to audio here in 2019? Well, it does have a headphone jack, so that's a pretty good thing, but it only has one tinny speaker, which is not a great thing. So if you got an S9 Plus or a Galaxy Note 9, you would have noticed that you got amazing audio quality with the Dolby Atmos and all that. So basically, I would say that the Note 8 is acceptable audio. The speaker is loud enough for average use, but it's nothing that you're going to be impressed about. And having a headphone jack is still nice, so that does make up a little bit for it. Audio to me is just okay for the Note 8. It doesn't even have a hi-fi quad DAC for headphones, so everything about it is just kind of average with the audio. Now, when it comes to making a phone call for the Galaxy Note 8, everything was fine. Reception was good. I never really had a drop call with this phone, and also having a single speaker wasn't the best for speakerphone calls. It wasn't that loud, but still you have this extra volume mode in the call software, which actually boosts it up a little bit. So on the whole, I'm pretty happy with what the Note 8 offered me when it comes to the call quality. It was okay, and actually it was a little bit better than okay. It was pretty good actually. So in conclusion, with the Note 8 coming way down in price point, no matter basically where you look for it, should you buy it in 2019? Well, there's a lot of other options that are also coming down, like the Galaxy S9. You can get last year's iPhone 10 for cheaper. But the Note 8 is still a very feature-rich phone that is a productivity powerhouse with the S Pen on board. There's not really many other phones besides the Note 9 that can offer up this same level of productivity suite. You got the Mate 10 Pro, which was competing with this phone. The Note 8 just really has so many features in one, just like the Note 9, but you hold back a little bit on the battery life. The camera is not quite up to snuff, and the speakerphone is not as good, as well as like the audio quality with the Dolby Atmos. But other than that, it's a stellar phone still, and I highly recommend it if you're looking for a Note series device on the low, because it really doesn't have many drawbacks besides the couple of things I mentioned. So if you guys found this video helpful, entertaining, informing, if you like this style where we're out here just having fun, let me know. Click the like button for me. Comment your thoughts down below. Are you picking up the Samsung Galaxy Note 8? Did you say, forget it, I don't want that phone? Why are you still talking about it? Let us know down below in the comment, and if you have one, please consider sharing your experience, because it helps other people out who are deciding. The comment section is gold for a lot of people doing research, so go ahead and comment your experience if you had one down below. Nick here, helping you to master your technology. Be sure to be well. I will catch you all in the next episode. Subscribe if you haven't already, and peace.